The village of Ilé-Ifẹ was a beautiful place, nestled between rolling hills and vast forests. The people of the village were known for their rich culture and traditions. Among them lived a family that was loved by all, the family of Chief Adideo. Chief Adideo had twin daughters, Folake and Folasade, who were the light of his life. Folake and Folasade were born on a sunny morning, and the whole village celebrated their arrival. As they grew, it became clear that although they were twins, they were very different. Folake was round and chubby with a hearty laugh and a kind heart. Folasade, on the other hand, was slender with a graceful demeanor and an adventurous spirit. Despite their differences, the twins were inseparable. They played together, explored the forests, and helped their mother, Ayatand, with chores around the house. They shared everything and promised to always be there for each other. Folake loved to cook with her mother, learning the secret recipes passed down through generations. Her favorite was making puff puff, a sweet, doughy treat that everyone in the village loved. Folasade preferred to spend her time outside, climbing trees and racing with the boys. She was known for her speed and agility. Their father, Chief Adideo, often took them to the village square to listen to the elders' stories. The tales of bravery, wisdom, and magic fascinated the girls. They would sit for hours, imagining themselves as the heroes in the stories. But as they grew older, the villagers began to notice their differences more and more. While Folasade's slender frame was admired, Folake's roundness became a source of mockery. The villagers would whisper and giggle when Folake walked by, then some would even make cruel jokes. Folasade hated seeing her sister hurt. She would often confront the villagers, telling them to stop being mean. "Folake is my sister," she would say. "She is kind and beautiful in her own way." Folake appreciated her sister's support, but the teasing still hurt. She often wished she could be like Folasade, admired and accepted by everyone. Despite the villagers' cruelty, the twins remained close, finding comfort in each other's company. The village of Ilé-Ifẹ was bustling with activity. The market square was filled with stalls selling everything from fresh fruits to colorful fabrics. The sound of drums and laughter filled the air. But amidst the joy, there was a shadow of unkindness that Folake could not escape. The villagers' attitude towards Folake was a constant source of pain. Whenever she walked through the market, whispers followed her. "Look at her," they would say. "She's so fat." Children would point and giggle, and even some adults joined in the mockery. Folake tried to ignore the comments, but they stung. She would often hide behind her mother's stall, pretending to be busy. Ayatand noticed her daughter's sadness and tried to comfort her. "You are beautiful, my child," she would say. "Do not let their words hurt you." Folasade was always ready to defend her sister. She would stand tall and face the villagers, her eyes flashing with anger. "Stop teasing my sister," she would shout. "She is more kind and beautiful than any of you." The villagers would hush for a moment, taken aback by Folasade's fierceness. But soon, the whispers would start again, and the cycle continued. Folake was grateful for her sister's protection, but she wished she could stand up for herself. Despite the villagers' cruelty, there were moments of happiness. The twins loved spending time by the river, where they could escape the prying eyes and hurtful comments. They would splash in the water, laughing and playing like they did when they were younger. One day, as they sat by the riverbank, Folasade turned to Folake. "You must not let them get to you," she said. "You are strong, and you have a good heart. That is what truly matters." Folake nodded, trying to hold back her tears. "I know, sister. But sometimes, it's hard to be strong." Folasade hugged her sister tightly. "I will always be here for you," she promised. "No matter what." One sunny afternoon, a stranger arrived in the village. His name was Ade, and he was from a neighboring village. Ade was tall and handsome, with a warm smile that charmed everyone he met. He had come to Ilé-Ifẹ to trade goods and learn about their culture. The villagers welcomed Ade with open arms. He quickly became friends with many of them, and his presence brought a new excitement to the village. Folasade, too, was drawn to Ade's charm. She enjoyed talking to him and learning about his adventures. Ade was equally captivated by Folasade. He admired her beauty and grace, and they spent many hours together, talking and laughing. Folake watched from a distance, happy for her sister but feeling a pang of loneliness. As Ade and Folasade grew closer, Folake felt more and more left out. Folasade's time was now consumed by Ade, when she no longer had as much time for her sister. Folake missed their adventures and heart-to-heart talks. One evening, as Folake sat alone under a tree, Ade approached her. "Why are you sitting here by yourself?" he asked. Folake looked up, surprised. "I like the quiet," she replied softly. Ade smiled. "You should join us. We are having a small gathering at the village square." Folake shook her head. "No, thank you. I'm fine here." Ade nodded and walked away, but his words lingered in Folake's mind. She wished she could join them, but she felt out of place. The villagers' mocking had made her self-conscious, and she preferred the solitude. As Folasade spent more time with Ade, she began to change. She laughed less with Folake and often seemed distracted. Folake noticed the change and felt a growing distance between them. Folasade's new friends also noticed the difference. Folasade, "Why don't you bring your sister along?" they would ask. Folasade would smile awkwardly and make excuses. "Folake likes to stay at home," she would say. But deep down, she knew that her sister was feeling left out. One day, Folasade and Ade were walking by the river when they saw some villagers teasing Folake. Folasade usually would have rushed to her sister's defense, but this time, she hesitated. She felt embarrassed and unsure of what to do. Ade noticed her hesitation and said, "Why do you always defend her? Maybe she should learn to stand up for herself." Folasade felt a pang of guilt but didn't know how to respond. She felt torn between her loyalty to her sister and her new relationship with Ade. As the days passed, Folasade's behavior towards Folake grew colder. She stopped defending her sister and sometimes even joined in the teasing, trying to fit in with her new friends. Folake was heartbroken and couldn't understand why her sister had changed so much. Folake's heart ached with sorrow. The teasing from the villagers had always been hurtful, but her sister's coldness was unbearable. She felt completely alone and didn't know where to turn. Folake began to withdraw more and more. She stopped going to the market and avoided the village square. She spent her days in the forest, finding solace among the trees and animals. One evening, as Folake sat by the river, she heard footsteps behind her. She turned to see her sister standing there, looking troubled. Folasade began, "I'm sorry. I've been so caught up with Ade and everything. I didn't mean to hurt you." Folake looked at her sister, her eyes filled with tears. "You have changed, Folasade. You used to stand up for me, but now you ignore me. It hurts so much." Folasade's eyes welled up with tears. "I know, and I'm so sorry. I never meant to make you feel this way." Folake sighed. "I miss the old days when we were always together. I miss my sister." Folasade hugged her sister tightly. "I promise I will try to be better. I love you, Folake." One day, as Folake wandered through the forest, she came across an old woman sitting by a fire. The woman had a kind face and gentle eyes. She smiled at Folake and beckoned her to come closer. "Hello, my child," the old woman said. "Why do you look so sad?" Folake sat down beside her and poured out her heart. She told the old woman about the villagers' teasing and her sister's change in behavior. The old woman listened patiently, nodding as Folake spoke. "You have a good heart, my dear," the old woman said. Do not let others' words hurt you. True beauty comes from within. Folake looked at the old woman, her eyes filled with hope. But how can I be strong when everyone is so cruel? The old woman smiled. You must believe in yourself. You have a light inside you that no one can dim. Be kind and true to yourself, and others will see your beauty. Folake felt a warmth in her heart. The old woman's words gave her strength and hope. She thanked the old woman and promised to be strong. The village of Ilé-Ifẹ was buzzing with excitement. The annual festival was just around the corner, and everyone was busy preparing. The festival was a time of celebration, with games, dances, and feasts. Chief Adideo announced that this year's festival would be the biggest yet. There would be competitions, performances, and a grand feast. The whole village was eager to participate. Folake felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She loved the festival but worried about the teasing. Folasade, on the other hand, was thrilled. She couldn't wait to show off her dancing skills and spend time with Ade. As the preparations began, Folake decided she wanted to be a part of it. She remembered the old woman's words and felt a new sense of courage. She would join the festival and show everyone her true self. The village was a hive of activity as everyone prepared for the festival. Stalls were set up, decorations hung, and the aroma of delicious food filled the air. Folake helped her mother prepare their stall, making puff-puff and other treats. Folasade was busy practicing her dance moves with Ade. They planned to perform a special dance together, and Folasade was excited to show off her skills. She invited Folake to join them, but Folake declined, preferring to focus on her own preparations. Folake decided to participate in the cooking competition. She had always loved cooking, and this was her chance to shine. She practiced her recipes and made sure everything was perfect. As the festival day approached, Folake felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She hoped the villagers would see her for who she truly was and appreciate her talents. The day of the festival arrived, and the village was alive with color and music. Folake felt a flutter of excitement as she walked to the village square. She took a deep breath and reminded herself of the old woman's words. The festival began with a grand parade, followed by various games and competitions. Folasade and Ade performed their dance, and the villagers cheered. Folake watched with pride, happy to see her sister shine. Next was the cooking competition. Folake presented her dishes with a smile, hoping the judges would appreciate her effort. The judges tasted each dish and nodded in approval. When it was time to announce the winners, Folake held her breath. To her delight, she won first prize for her puff-puff. The villagers clapped and cheered, and for the first time, Folake felt truly accepted. Winning the cooking competition was a turning point for Folake. The villagers saw her in a new light and began to appreciate her kindness and talent. Folake's confidence grew, and she felt happier than she had in a long time. Folake made new friends and started to participate more in village activities. She no longer hid behind her mother's stall but walked with her head held high. The villagers' teasing diminished, and they began to see Folake's true beauty. Folasade noticed the change in her sister and felt a mix of pride and guilt. She realized how much she had hurt Folake and was determined to make amends. She spent more time with her sister, and their bond grew stronger. As Folake and Folasade grew closer, Ade began to show his true colors. He often made hurtful comments about Folake, saying she didn't belong with them. Folasade felt torn but couldn't ignore the growing unease. One evening, as Folasade and Ade sat by the river, Ade said, "Your sister is so different from us. She's too fat and awkward." Folasade's heart sank. She realized that Ade's admiration was superficial. "Ade, my sister is kind and talented. She has a beautiful heart," she replied. Ade scoffed. "You are too soft, Folasade. You need to be with people who match your beauty." Folake felt a surge of anger and stood up. If you cannot see the beauty in my sister, then you do not truly know me. She walked away, leaving Ade behind. Folake returned home, her heart heavy. She found Folake sitting in their room reading a book. Folake, I need to talk to you, she said, sitting beside her sister. Folake looked up, worried. What is it, sister? Folake took a deep breath. I have been wrong. I let Ed's words influence me, and I hurt you. I am so sorry. Folake's eyes filled with tears. I missed you, Folake. I felt so alone. Folake hugged her sister tightly. I promise to never let anyone come between us again. You are my sister, and I love you more than anything. The next day, Folake decided to seek forgiveness from the villagers. She gathered them in the village square and spoke from her heart. I have been wrong to ignore my sister and let others' words influence me. Folake is kind and talented, and she deserves our respect and love. The villagers listened, some feeling ashamed of their past behavior. They saw the sincerity in Folake's words and began to understand the pain they had caused. Folake then turned to Folake. I am so sorry, sister. Please forgive me. Folake hugged her sister and smiled through her tears. I forgive you, Folake. I love you. The villagers began to realize their mistake. They saw Folake's true beauty and talent and felt ashamed of their past behavior. Many of them approached Folake to apologize and make amends. Folake forgave them, her heart filled with warmth. She knew that true beauty came from within, and she was grateful for the old woman's wisdom. The village of Ilé-Ifẹ began to change. The villagers became kinder and more accepting, and the teasing stopped. Folake felt a sense of belonging she had never known before. With the villagers' acceptance, Folake and Folake's lives changed for the better. They grew closer, and their bond became unbreakable. Folake's confidence continued to grow, and she became a respected member of the community. Folake started teaching cooking classes, sharing her love for food with others. The villagers admired her talent and kindness, and she became a role model for many. Folake also found a new sense of purpose. She used her grace and agility to help organize village events and activities. Together, the twins brought joy and unity to Ilé-Ifẹ. One day, as Folake and Folake were walking through the forest, they saw the old woman again. She smiled at them and said, You have grown so much, my dear. I am proud of you. Folake felt a surge of gratitude. Thank you for your wisdom and kindness. You helped me find my strength. The old woman nodded. Remember, my child, true beauty comes from within. Be kind and true to yourself, and you will always shine. Folake and Folake thanked the old woman and promised to never forget her words. They knew that her wisdom had changed their lives forever. One day, Ode returned to the village, hoping to reconcile with Folake. He approached her and said, I am sorry for my words. I was wrong. Folake looked at Ode, her heart steady. Ade, you hurt my sister and me with your superficiality. We have moved on and found our true strength. Ade looked ashamed and nodded. I understand. I wish you both happiness. Folake and Folake watched as Ode walked away. They knew that they had grown stronger and wiser from the experience. The village of Ilé-Ifẹ continued to grow in unity and harmony. Folake and Folake's influence brought positive changes to the community. They organized events, helped those in need, and spread kindness wherever they went. The villagers learned to appreciate each other's differences and found strength in unity. The teasing and mockery became a thing of the past, and the village flourished. Folake and Folake looked to the future with hope and excitement. They had dreams and aspirations, and they knew that together, they could achieve anything. Folake wanted to open a bakery, where she could share her love for cooking with everyone. Folasade dreamed of starting a dance school where she could teach children the joy of movement. The twins knew that with the support of each other and the village, their dreams would come true. Years passed, and the twins grew older, but their bond remained unbreakable. They left a lasting legacy in the village of Ilé-Ifẹ, inspiring others to be kind, strong, and true to themselves. The villagers would often tell the story of Folake and Folasade, the twin sisters who overcame adversity and brought unity to their community. Their story became a cherished tale passed down through generations. And so, Folake and Folasade lived happily ever after, knowing that their love and strength had made a lasting impact on the world around them.